Hi guys, Squad here. Welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. In this video, we are going to fly the Diamond DA40. It's quite a nice little plane. It works really well. And we're going to head up to Scotland, which is got some beautiful scenery in Scotland. And I no doubt it'll be cloudy and possibly even a bit rainy because that's Scotland for you. But it's lovely. And if we're going to fly from Edinburgh, which is EGPH. We're going to go up to Dundee, EGPN. Dundee is an airfield I've wanted to fly to in real life for quite a long time now. It's a lovely approach with the water next to it. Looks really good. Edinburgh's a really great city. And again, we're going to see some lovely things around here. I'm going to try and find Edinburgh Castle if I can, and maybe the stadium. We'll see. So Edinburgh's got the train line which runs across the water there, and the Forth Bridge is here somewhere. Whether it's been put in the sim or not in this preview build, I do not know. But we're going to find out. We're going to fly over there. We'll track along the coast here. We'll go to Kirkcaldy, which is around about here. And then what we'll do is we'll cut inland and we'll try and find St Andrews Golf Course, which is around here somewhere. And then opposite that is Lucar's Air Force Base, which is a military base, which I think they let GA pilots in now and again when there's St Andrews Golf on or something like that. And then we're going to go track up to Dundee. Now, the weather is pretty variable, and I don't know what it's going to do, but I think we'll be in for a really nice flight, really scenic flight. And yeah, let's get in there and let's go flying. Well, here we are, runway 30. I've set the barometric pressure. I've put some instrument lights on. We're going to have to transfer fuel at some point because the way the DA40 works is you have to sort of manually transfer fuel over. We're going to stick the pitot heat on just in case. Landing lights are all on, strobes on, position lights on. And if we quickly zoom this thing, you can see where we are. Actually, maybe that zoom might be better. You can see where we are, EGPH. There's EGPN where we're heading. I'm going to zoom into about here-ish. Edinburgh Castle is around about there. It's roughly south of this bit here. It's actually on a little bit of a hill, but it's quite tricky unless you know what you're looking for, because that hill is actually higher over there. So it's around about here somewhere. So what we'll do is we'll take off out of 30, circle back and head that way. And then when we find it, we'll then track down the coastline and try and pick up the bridge area. Then we'll head up the coast that way. That's the plan. It is Scotland, Scottish weather, of course. Can't expect anything else here, can you? Right, let's release the parking brake. The flaps are set for takeoff. Let's bring in some power. Okay, T's and P's are looking good. Full power set. Quite like this aircraft actually, the DA40. I would love one of these in real life. Oh my god, they are so nice. Far too expensive though. Let's keep the nose down a little bit longer until we get enough speed going. And rotate there. And just hold the runway heading and I'll trim. There you go. Now Edinburgh, I believe, is one of the default airports, so it's not bad actually. Looking at it, it's not bad at all. Let the airspeed build up before we make our turn out. Okay, we'll bring the flaps up now. Retrim. Start our left turn. This weather's going to be pretty dynamic today, I think. So I think we'll probably try and go for about maybe 1,500 feet or so. It should give us plenty of scenery to look at, assuming, wow, marginal VFR conditions. Let's see how we get on. Just back off on the throttle a little bit now. And we'll keep tracking around until we can head west. Once we've found Edinburgh, I may use the autopilot just so that we can more easily pop our head out the window and have a look. Wowzers. Yeah, actually, finding Edinburgh Castle in this is going to be interesting. Okay, so we need to get some altitude. And the landing light can come off now. Although you could possibly leave it on, I guess. These kind of conditions. Details on, flaps are up. Yep. Okay, all looking good. Now, Edinburgh, the fourth bridge is over there somewhere. But we'll see if we can... Actually, I'll just back off and just go for this altitude, actually. Just while we try and find the castle. What we need to look for, really, is the train line. If we can find the train line... See, coming from the airport is the train line. Actually... Oh, that's not it. It's the road. Seeing if I can see it anywhere. Go external camera, it might be a bit easier. Should be around here somewhere. There's the big hill in the distance I was talking about. It's not that. For sure it's not that. One second. Oh, hang on. There's the golf course. We're not far away, I don't think. There's also... there's Murrayfield Station. Okay, it's over here. Sorry, Murrayfield Stadium. Yeah, so there's the train line is basically here. Murrayfield is there. And the stadium, the station's about here. I think that's Edinburgh Castle, dead ahead of us, like here, not on the hill. I don't know how well it's been implemented, so it may not look like a castle. I don't know, but yeah, it's that's definitely it right there. That's Murrayfield. Sorry, Murrayfield. Edinburgh Castle. Murrayfield's back there. Yeah, it doesn't look like Edinburgh Castle. It looks like it's been converted into a block of apartments. So, I think maybe they'll have to handcraft that one at some point. Basically, just off the right wingtip, that's it there. That there is where Edinburgh Castle should be. But you can actually, if you look at the image underneath, you can kind of make out what it should look like, but the autogen's just basically drawn in some apartments, so that'll have to be hand done at some point. Anyway, what we can do is we can just turn back and I'll just show you the... Let's get my airspeed back up. I'll show you the train station as well. I think has not been drawn in. Oh my god, this weather. Not sure I'd want to fly in this IRL, to be honest. Yeah, the station is basically here, and you can see it's flat. It's not been like modelled properly yet. Nor has the stadium by the look of it. Do you know what? We might see a rainbow at some point if we're lucky. Looks like the... There you go. So there's Murrayfield. There's the station next to it. That's got a few buildings on this one actually. That's not too bad. But the stadium itself is 2D, completely flat. That's not been done. The train line is right underneath us. Looks a bit squished as well. Okay, let's see if we can... I need to turn right otherwise. I mean, we're basically tracking right into the approach now of runway 30, so this isn't really somewhere you could fly. Not like this anyway. Let's head towards the bridge. Now the bridge itself, you can see on the Garmin the actual road crossing. That's where the bridge is. Let's get the Edinburgh selected. We'll give it an altitude of... We'll give it like 1500 or something. We'll put it... Level it off, put it into heading mode, autopilot, altitude, just hold the altitude there, Okay. So it looks like on the DA40, it looks like the onboard systems for autopilot are working a lot better than some of the other aircraft that I've seen, like the TBM and the Airbus, and I think even the DA42, like it's not oscillating as much, and it seems to be holding a reasonable course heading as well, which allows us to look out the window a little bit more. So let's do that. Let's bring up a bit of speed. So I don't know if you can notice or not, but on the fuel tanks now, we're draining the left tank more than the right. So at some point we're going to have to put the fuel transfer on. We do that now. I should say advisory. Auxiliary pump is on, so that'll just pump some fuel across. And then it'll probably give us an alert at some point to turn it back off again. Yeah, it looks like we've got a bit of a wind going on as well. Oh, look at that in the distance. You can actually see, like, rain shafts coming down. That is so good. I love this. This is so, like, realistic. If you've ever flown in these kind of conditions, you know, where you can see showers in the distance and then avoid them. Yeah, okay, so, there should be a big bridge here. A very recognizable. This reminds me of the video I did on Sydney, where there was a whole bunch of guys complaining about the lack of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. There'll be a whole lot of Scottish people now complaining about the lack of the Forth Bridge. I'm guessing that they're going to have to handcraft some of these bridges and stick them in, because what I'm seeing there is just generic connections. So that's going to be, I guess, you know, future updates, which is fair enough. Let's see if we can just climb a little bit. A little bit too low. Let's go to like 1300 or 1400. Yeah, 1400 is good. Yeah, so there should be a very recognisable bridge going right across here. And one's a train line and one's the road bridge. But what we'll do is we will change course and we'll track and follow the coastline, as I said. This autopilot makes things a little bit easier and a bit smoother for you as well. Oh, look at that sun rays just bursting through. That looks so nice. I mean, this is the real Scotland right here. Look at this. This is what Scotland is. Just amazing, like, scenery with cloud layers like this. It looks so darn good. Let's get the drone up as well. Get a nice view of the drone. But I mean, look at the autogen. They've done a cracking job. Do you know what? I bet that's a really nice place to live. That looks really appealing right there. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to follow the coastline here. Just going to bring the altitude up, I think, to 1600. Just do a steady climb. Put a little bit more power in there as well. There we go. While we look at this incredible scenery, look at the wind turbines in the distance being hit by the sunlight. That is magnificent. Looks like we're getting battered by wind as well. Yeah, this is great. Actually, I don't know what that is ahead. That's either some, like, monument or tower, or perhaps a scenery bug. I do not know. We're going to head slightly more east. Absolutely wonderful. On our right is a small town. I don't know what it's called. See if I can figure it out. I think it might be called... I think it's called Burntisland. Quickly looking on Google Maps, Burntisland. It looks like it's a harbour as well. To me. Looks like it's got some kind of dockyard. And then on our left, like, I don't know. This, I don't know what you think, but that looks like an error to me. Either that or the Borg have been here and made a statement. Yeah, I think that... Unless... Actually, I don't know. I'm looking at it now. I really don't know. It looks out of place, like, but then again it might be some scientific thing. But it doesn't... It looks like it's in the middle of a field. Like, it can't be an office block. Surely it's like an auto-gen error. So what we'll do is we'll track along the coast here, and then I think that might be Kirkcaldy. Let's see if we can jump back in and change our heading somewhat. Okay, we've got a fuel pump thing going on. Pumped a bit too much fuel, not to worry. It's a weird system, this kind of manual pumping thing. But then again, you should always be in the cockpit anyway, and I'm sure it gives you a proper alert if you're actually flying, instead of looking out the window like I am. It's gone really misty again. We can like aim to cut across the water here. We should get a decent view of what I believe to be Kirkcaldy. Actually, I think we'll stay a little bit closer to land. I love the reflections. Have you seen the reflections on the cockpit glass? I don't think anybody has ever done that in a flight sim. I could be wrong, but I don't recall seeing the reflections of the GPS screen in the cockpit glass before. That is a new one. Whoa, look at that. They've got a heck of a seafront going on there. I know, like a marina place. It's pretty good. Pretty good. So what we want to do is we want to track further up the coast. If you were VFR in this, we would track further up the coast, and there's like an A road you can follow up towards St Andrews. But given that we've got a GPS system, we can kind of do what we like, really. We can always follow what the GPS is telling us to do. But visually, I like to just stay along the coast, I think. So many wind turbines. It gives you an idea of how windy it is in Scotland. Like, they've got so much free energy. I mean, it's a really good idea. They might as well use it, right? I'm looking at the land over here and wondering about if there's an elevation change going on. Normally I would have looked at the charts to see what the minimums are over this area, but I've not done that. If I was flying it for real, that's exactly what I'd do. A little bit more power in. Try and get a bit more ground speed going. Just want to take a look at the coastline. Look at that water. I don't know how well YouTube codec is going to compress this water, but on my screen that looks fantastic. They've even got waves coming in and hitting the coastline. That's such a nice touch. In fact, if you notice, the waves are hitting here but not here. It's actually really good. Attention to detail in this sim is unbelievable. Not really sure which town this is. It's South Coley. It might be. Is that where it's all looking at the VFR map? Let's get out of drone mode. I'll look on the VFR map. Then it is Buckhaven, I think. I'm wondering if there's like shipping trawlers and things go out of here. It is good though. It is really good. Alright, so what we want to do now is we want to track inland a bit so that we can cut the whole kind of corner section off. I'll show you what I mean. So we don't want to go all the way around here, we're just going to basically cut in. So we'll change our heading. So. Oh, there's a rainbow. Holy smoke, there's a rainbow. There's a double rainbow, look at that. Wow. How cool is that? And look, the rainbow's disappearing because our angle's changing. Look, it's gone. Fantastic. I said we might see a rainbow, and we did as well. Given all this kind of moisture content, and then the sun behind us, it's exactly what you need for a rainbow. I just hope when we come into Dundee you actually get to see it properly, because this weather is, well, look at it, it's very, very unpredictable. Do you know what though, when you look at it, the way it undulates is something that I think they've done so well. Like you can be in a patch of clear and then there'll be mist in the distance and then it'll turn into rain and then it'll become clear again. It just transitions so nicely. Actually, I need to track right slightly because I want to... St Andrews Golf Course, see, although I told it to go to this here, St Andrews Golf Course is that little bit there, that little bit sticking out, and I want to show you that, so we'll track to the right slightly, and we should be able to see it at some point up ahead of us. This weather wasn't so incredibly random. Probably also help if it was a little bit higher, so I might do that. Let's climb up a little bit. We should get we should get visibility on St Andrews. It's either there or there, I can't remember. And then there's going to be like an estuary bit, and then on the other side is Lucar's airfield, or Air Force Base. With the reflections on the water. Yeah, there it is. It's cleared up now. You can see the triangle. St Andrews Links Golf Course. What does links mean? No trees. Want to put money, there'll be trees there. St Andrew, I've never played on St Andrews. You have to have like a certain handicap to even go there. They don't just let any old riffraff on the course. You have to actually be able to play golf and prove that you can. But because of its location being so, like, literally the North Sea, it can get very windy, and because it's a links golf course and there's no trees to break it up, one of its challenges is literally that it's wind, you know, either carrying the ball or stopping the ball or blowing it from one side to the other. Okay, so you can see the St Andrews here, and then over there, that should be the Air Force Base, approximately. The weather's cleared up nicely for us, so we should get a decent view. There's another golf. Look, there's another golf course here. In the shadow of St Albans. If you can't play there, you can always come here. Should draw some more scenery as you get real close. See, when I went round the coast of Britain on my motorbike, I came through here and we stopped in St Andrews somewhere. I can't remember where. I had a coffee before carrying on. We didn't have time to do any sightseeing. There you go. Actually, the weather's cleared up really nicely. We can get a really good view on that now. That is so good. Like, they've really captured the detail, haven't they? Although the car park down there could do with some cars in it. I will say that much. All 2D. So that over there is the Air Force Base, which apparently when St Andrews Golf like is on, at the European Open or whatever, I think when it's actually on, they let GA land there, so that you can actually fly up and go and watch the golf. But usually I don't think they let GA in unless it's emergency. So if you was here and you had an emergency landing, absolutely, you can land there. But you're probably going to be filling in some paperwork. But you can't just go there otherwise. They don't let GA riffraff in. That's out towards the North Sea. Keep going that way, you'll end up in Norway. Look at the way the light hits the sea. That's a great view. St Andrews on the left. Air Force Base just in front. That is fantastic. Now we start to set our sights on Dundee itself. Let's close the range down a little bit. And we shall turn in. There's also a bridge here at Dundee, right there. But again, I don't know if it will be modelled. It's gone misty again. Very misty again. There's little breaks in the cloud, look at that. It's great how they've made the clouds flow like that. Now, I think normally approaches into Dundee, normally what they do is they come in over the water, I believe, and then right-hand turn in, or left-hand turn in. Given the airport, sorry, given the runway we're landing on, we'll pretty much be straight in. Actually, that's a good point. What I could have done was go on the PFD, book wind, option 3, and we can actually see 276 at 10 knots. So yeah, we are coming in on the correct approach, as it were. So what I'll do now is I shall begin a descent, go down to like 1100. Just slow it down a little bit. And that ahead of us is Dundee, and the airfield is about here, but it's so misty now. It's actually quite hard to see it. In fact, you know what, I was going to see Dundee, but it's a bit misty. We might have to just go straight in, I'm afraid. Right, we'll just kill the autopilot altogether. We'll put the landing lights on. Everything else checks out. So, because what we'll do is we'll just head to the right a little bit and see if we can see a little bit more of Dundee. There you go. Before we go in. So there's the bridge. The airfield is just hidden behind that wall of mist right now. But it is there, I promise. And it looks like the bridge has not been done properly either. It's just a generic bridge. We had some great weather over St Andrews, but here is just gone quite nasty. Okay, we're 4 nautical away at the moment, which is fine. Let's give you a quick view of that. Again, pretty well done. And that bridge looks nothing like the real one. I mean, this is going to be an interesting approach. Do you have the airfield in sight? Nope. Right, 3 miles. Let's get back into flap speed, then we'll get some flaps down. There we go. There's no gear to deploy. Landing lights are all on. What we need now is sight of the airfield. Let's just hold this altitude. There it is. There it is. Right. Full flaps. You can just about, if I need to sit up, just about make it out. And the wind is coming in almost head on. That's good. Retrim the aircraft. Yeah, if I was in this position, I just can't see it. There's actually a landing view, which is supposed to be there. And there's also a sit-up, which is the space key. I don't know which I prefer, to be honest. Because the problem with the landing views, you can't really see your instrumentation properly. With this one, at least I can see what the airspeed's doing, which is kind of important. Wow, look at the lights changing colour, and I'm getting chucked around on final. We're a little bit high, I don't mind though. Get some altitude off now. Just wanted to get over those trees safely before I sacrificed all the altitude. A little bit of a wind kick and another one. And we're down. Now, do we backtrack on this? Or is there another taxiway? I do not know. Just to see if there's an exit point. We may have to backtrack. I'm thinking... I don't know if that's a taxiway or not, to be honest. Yeah, there's no way. It's got to be backtrack. Which is probably what this is for, to be honest, so that the bigger guys can turn around. Cool. Well, that was a lovely little approach. I enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that as well. Let's get the pizza off. Little tour of Scotland. I tell you, the GA stuff in this game is just... I really think it'll spark interest in GA. At the very least until we get, like, study level aircraft for it released. And then people will obviously jump back into that stuff as well, which is fine. But I just hope that people really get into some GA and just enjoy it. I'm meant to go off here. Because with a scenery like this that you don't even need to pay for. You know? It's all there in the game. You don't need to buy it. Scenery like that is why people didn't fly GA in the first place, because they had to buy stuff and it was all very piecemeal depending on, you know, you could buy Southern England or Northern England or whatever. And then you fly over generic scenery in between. And that's what put people off GA. Because now you just go anywhere. It's amazing. Right, can we park here? I think we can squeeze in. Looks like this guy's taking up 2 spaces. You know when you got the car park at Tesco and somebody takes up 2 spaces? It kind of feels a bit like that. Yeah, you! Let's move over. Just sat there, reading your handbook. Right, parking brake is set. I'll get this thing shut down anyway. But yeah, welcome to Dundee. I hope you enjoyed that little trip. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more content in the future. And give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you've got any suggestions for trips you want me to do, preferably things like that are just, you know, 20, 25 minutes, little short ups. Got any suggestions, leave them in the comments. Want to know what specs I've got, check the video description. Until the next one, guys, take care and happy flying.